I was 16 when my grandma passed away, and at her funeral, my mom received a mysterious letter that made her collapse to the ground. I was standing right next to her, and as she struggled to breathe, she whispered to me, "I'm sorry, I have something to tell you, but it has to be now." She took my hand and led me to a quiet room in the back of the funeral home, where she revealed a secret that would shake our family to its core. "Your father is not who you think he is," she said, her voice trembling. I was confused, and my mind was racing with questions, but before I could ask any of them, she continued, "He's been lying to us for years, and I've been covering it up for the sake of our family." And as she spoke, I felt like my whole world was crumbling around me. I thought about all the times my dad had been absent, all the times he had missed important events, and all the times he had made excuses for not being there. It all made sense now. He was living a double life. My mom told me that she had discovered the truth about 5 years ago, but she had chosen to stay in the marriage for the sake of our family. She had been keeping the secret from me and my siblings, and it had been eating away at her. Annie was furious, and I felt betrayed by both my parents. I didn't know what to do or who to turn to. My mom saw the anger in my eyes and said, "I know this is a lot to take in, but you have to understand, I did it to protect you and your siblings." I looked at her, and I said, "Protect us from what?" "The truth." She just shook her head and said, "I'm sorry, I was wrong to keep this secret from you." And as we left the funeral home, I knew that our family would never be the same. I felt like I was living in a nightmare, and I didn't know how to wake up. My dad was still at the funeral, pretending to be the grieving husband, but I knew the truth now. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew that I had to confront him about his lies. And the days that followed were some of the toughest in my life. I struggled to come to terms with the fact that my dad was not who I thought he was. I felt like I was losing my identity, and I didn't know who to trust. My mom and I had long conversations about what had happened, and she told me that she was sorry for keeping the secret from me. She said that she had been trying to protect me, but she realized now that she had made a mistake. And as I navigated this new reality, I began to see my family in a different light. I realized that we were all flawed, and we all made mistakes. My mom had made a mistake by keeping the secret, and my dad had made a mistake by living a double life. But as I looked at my mom, I saw the pain and the sadness in her eyes, and I knew that she was truly sorry. I also saw the love and the sacrifice she had made for our family, and I began to understand why she had kept the secret. Annie eventually confronted my dad about his lies, and it was a difficult conversation. He broke down and cried, and he told me that he was sorry for hurting us. He said that he had been struggling with his own demons, and he had made mistakes. I didn't know if I could ever forgive him, but I knew that I had to try. And as I look back on that experience, I realized that it was a turning point in my life. It taught me that family is not always perfect, and that we all make mistakes. But it also taught me that love and forgiveness can conquer even the darkest of secrets. I'm still trying to come to terms with what happened, and I'm still trying to forgive my dad. But I know that I have to move forward, and I have to learn to forgive. And was I wrong to confront my dad about his lies, or should I have just kept the secret and moved on?